Italian unification was a political and social movement that consolidated different states of the Italian peninsula into the single state of the Kingdom of Italy in the 19th century. Many scholars agree that the process began in 1850 with the Congress of Vienna and the end of Napoleonic rule, and ended in 1871, when Rome became the capital of the Kingdom of Italy. The Renaissance was a cultural movement that expanded the period roughly from the 14th to the 17th century, beginning in Italy in the late Middle Ages and later spreading to the rest of Europe. The changes of the Renaissance were not uniformly experienced across Europe. The Third Italian War of Independence was a conflict which paralleled the Austro-Prussian War and was fought between the Kingdom of Italy and the Austrian Empire. Victor Emmanuel II had been crowned King of Italy on March 17, 1861, but did not control Veneto and Lazio. The situation of the Irredente created an increasing state of tension from the inner politics of the newly created kingdom, as well as being a cornerstone of his foreign policy. The increasing divergences between Austria and Prussia, with the latter's growing predominance in Germany, turned into open war in 1866, offering Italy an occasion to regain Veneto. Italy has a diversified industrial economy which is divided into a developed industrial north, dominated by private companies, and the less developed high subsidized agriculture south, where unemployment is high. The Italian economy is driven in a large part by the manufacture of high-quality consumer goods produced by small and medium-sized enterprises. Italy also has a sizable underground economy, which by some estimates accounts for as such as 17% of GDP. Italy is the third largest economy in the Eurozone, but its exceptionally high public debt and structural impediments to growth have rendered it vulnerable to security by financial markets. During the second half of 2011, the government passed 3 austerity packages to reduce its budget deficit and help bring down borrowing costs. The government also faces pressure from the investors and European partners to sustain its recent efforts to address Italy's long-standing structural impediments to growth. The government has undertaken several reform initiatives designed to increase long-term economic growth. Italy's GDP is now 7% below its 2007 pre-crisis level. Main import partners in Italy: Germany with a 15.7%, France with a 9%, China with a 7%, Netherlands with a 6%, Spain with a 4.8%, and Belgium with a 4%. Main export partners in Italy: Germany with a 13%, France with an 11%, United States with 6.6%, Switzerland with a 6%, Spain with a 4.8%, and United Kingdom with a 5%. is an intergovernmental organization established 24 October 1945 to promote international cooperation. The organization was created following the Second World War to prevent another such conflict. At its founding, the UN had 51 member states. There are now 193. 4 of their main offices are situated in Geneva, Nairobi, and Vienna. The organization is financed by assessed and voluntary contributions from its member states, promoting human rights, fostering social and economic development, protecting the environment, and providing humanitarian aid in cases of famine, natural disaster, and armed conflict. During the Second World War, U.S. President Franklin D. Roosevelt initiated talks on a success agency to the League of Nations, and the United Nations Charter was drafted at a conference in April-June 1945. The organization participated in major actions in Korea and the Congo, as well as approving the creation of the State of Israel in 1947. The organization's memberships grew significantly following widespread decolonization in the 1860s. By the 1970s, its budget for economic and social development programs far outstripped its spending on peacekeeping. The UN has 6 principal organs: the General Assembly, the Security Council, the Economic and Social Council, the Secretariat, the International Court of Justice, and the United Nations Trusteeship Council. Non-governmental organizations may be granted consultative status with ECO, SOC, and other agencies to participate in the UN's work. Italy has a very good relations with the UN. Italy has been recently accepted for a period of 2 years as a member of the UN Security Council, and these facts confirms the very good relationships between the UN and Italy. In addition to this, the recent Italy's proposal for worldwide debt penalty moratorium has been approved by UN General Assembly, and I guess this wouldn't happen if our country hadn't good relations with the UN.